Welcome back to a brand new video. I'm Alex Elliott, PJ Golf Professional. Now I can't wait to share this with you today. What a morning, by the way. We're at Mottram Hall on the 18th. Just take a look at this. This is what golf in the winter is about in the UK. Now some of you in maybe warmer climes will be going, what are you doing? But I wanted to bring you this, and this is very, very important today. This is an eye-opener, and I'd say this no matter what level of golfer you are. It's about your grip. Now, it's not about the grip in sense of how you orientate your hands on this. It's the length you make the shaft. The positioning up and down makes a real difference in you finding the middle. So sit back and watch this and make sure you learn something about your grip here. Now, if you are brand new, I just want to remind you that this channel is powered by the viewers, and we're answering Sylvia Welsh's question today about this. But we'll get to this at the end. So interlock, overlap, baseball, what's best for you? I'll give you my opinion at some point in this video. But first, I wanted to sort of treat this tip as how you're gonna break 90 for the first time, how you're gonna break 80 or even hopefully 75. We'd all love to be in that situation at some point. It's the positioning up and down this shaft. And this is what I do myself, and I can't wait for you to go and try this, 8 iron and below. So 8 iron, 9 iron, wedge, 52, 56, 58, 60. Those scoring clubs. So have a look at this. What I hate to see is that positioning of that top hand when you're making that shaft as long as possible. Because in simple terms, the longer you grip up here, the more potential club head speed you've got. Now that might sound great, but actually the less accuracy, the less consistency, and the less likely you are to find that middle and hit the green. Now ask yourself a question, and this is really important. I want you to get down in these comments here, because if I said to you, what's the purpose of 8 iron and below? I reckon, I'm gonna put this tweet up here. I put this tweet up and most of you were sort of 50-50 between all out distance and accuracy. Well, 8 iron and below surely is for accuracy, so why are we making that shaft as long as possible, trying to swing it as fast as we can? So, this is what I want you to use as your guide. Just 2 fingertips I want you to have. Actually, no, we'll make this, I thought it was 2, but on reassessing that, I would do 3. So 3 fingertips from the end, I want you to place your top hand, just as you would normally, no change in that sense. But look at that. That shaft feels and looks a lot shorter. I feel a lot closer to the ball, and now I'm more likely to find that middle. So remember, I've got 8 iron in my hand here, but I want to share something a little bit closer to that green, around that 100-yard mark, that half shot. I know I hate that shot. It's a toughie, isn't it? Okay, come on, watch this hit the green. I say that very loosely because it's going to land on and probably bounce off, because it's extremely frozen this morning. That was such an easy swing, and look at that, it's honestly straight down that flag. Bing! Right, come on, let's move a little bit closer. So let's answer Sylvia's question. Now remember, this was about sort of interlock, overlap, baseball. What do you do? Now there's no right or wrong with this. Sort of the rule of thumb that I would use, right, is if you've got bigger hands, it's probably easier to overlap your fingers. So let's sort of, if you're new to the game, let's sort of highlight what those 3 are. So an interlock would be when your first finger and your little finger interlock like this, okay? Overlap would be when this finger is touching our first finger on our glove hand, the grip, and our little finger sort of sits on top and filters in between like that. That's what I call sort of overlap. And finally, the baseball is when you can see sort of that 10-finger grip, all fingers in contact. Now, if there was one grip that I really hate seeing golfers use, it would be that one, just purely because it encourages our hands to be a little further apart, and that makes it hard to release that golf club. So if there's any piece of advice there, don't use that. Now, one thing that I would think about, if you're finding it hard to interlock or overlap and your hands feel like they're sort of consuming the club and you're strangling it, think about that grip thickness. This might surprise you, but I have mid-size golf grips on my clubs and I take a small glove. So if you've got bigger hands than me and you're using standard grips, maybe think about going a little bit thicker. That would be what I say, and maybe that's some new information there which is absolutely relevant to controlling that club head. Okay, we're on the 100-yard mark. This is where we've got to be laser accurate. This is where it makes sense to make the shaft shorter, but there's a little bit of a difference that I do here to add even more control. So remember, 3 fingers from the top, hands on. Now, if we go to the face-on perspective here, I'm going to hit 2 shots, and this is what I want you to do, a bit of homework here that is really going to help you break 80, break 75, or even 90, right? I want you to have 2 positions, and this isn't just for elite golfers, this is for you too. Right, so 9 o'clock was what I would sort of count here. So I would hit one away at 9 o'clock. Now, for me, this is not going to go 100 yards, but I want to show you this position right now. So this would be my 9 o'clock position. Back and through, back to 9 o'clock, through to 9 o'clock. Now that shot is made so much easier gripping that 3 fingers down. If I grip right at the end, like here, I just don't feel I have that control. Okay, and the final position, I call this hands to shoulder. Again, and measure those 3 fingers. I mean, literally takes 15 seconds just to go boom, check, stance, have a few waggles. Hands to shoulder is sort of this position, through to this position. Then we've got hands to shoulder, which for my 50 degree is bob on that 100-yard marker. Tell you what, it is seriously frozen here today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on that bell to never miss any of our uploads.